Welcome to another episode of Adultish Presents Fifi After Dark, where your host, Afiya, is left all alone with the recording equipment and a drink in her hand. You can listen, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Adultish on most streaming platforms, as well as find us on Twitter at AdultishP0DCAST. Welcome everyone for a new episode of the Adultish Podcast Presents Fifi After Dark, aka FAD, featuring yours truly, Afiya, with a drink in her hand. And tonight's episode of FAD was pre-gaming, y'all. Let me just tell y'all something real quick. Like the last 3 to 4 or so weeks of your girl's life, it's been super stressful. Dealing with a lot of shit at work, dealing with a lot of personal relationships or lack thereof, and dealing with a lot of like mental anguish, struggling, just straight struggle. And so I've been drinking. Not like on alcoholic levels or anything like that, but you know, a little sip here, a little sip there, and not like a coping, like a, oh my goodness, I need this to live type of way, but kind of like in a, when I come home, like I need to de-stress. And so I'll take a little sip here and there just to relax my muscles a little bit, and then go to sleep because, actually, like in the last 2 weeks or so, I've been having like really bad anxiety and I haven't been able to actually go to sleep. There was one night that I stayed up until about 6 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. My brain was so wired. Couldn't pass out. And it was not a good look. It was not a good thing. I ended up having to talk it out a little bit later on in that conversation, that I had. I started cracking and it wasn't a good look. Sorry to start this episode off on like this somber note of like, oh my God, Afiya's going crazy. But I just say that to say that I pre-gamed for this episode, and I did so by going to this Mexican cuisine restaurant in Bedside, Brooklyn. I would drop the name of the place, but you guys can see it on my socials. Only because I don't want to be giving free advertisement and like they not trying to give me like a free taco. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be giving y'all free advertisement like that. But I will say that they have this drink, and they have a frozen sangria, they have a frozen margarita, and they got a drink that's a mix of a frozen sangria and margarita. So 2 in 1. And you can get like a shot of Henny or Patron in that bitch. I didn't get the shot because I thought I would have been wilding, and I would have been fucked up on the train coming home because I stopped by this place on the way home from work, and I hit there before 7 o'clock when happy hour was over. So I got this drink for like half price. Should have had 2, but you can't leave the store with the drink. Even though I did see this woman put her drink in her pocketbook and then go into her fucking car. And I'm like, yo, 1, how many of these drinks did you have? And 2, are you safe to be driving? And 3, how you just gonna have a frozen drink open, no cover, in your pocketbook? But I think she just did it to walk it out to her car, and she probably took it out and put it in her armrest. I'm hoping because then that would just be some straight slackness, and you're gonna have the contents of your purse smelling like frozen sangria and hella sticky from frozen margarita and shit. So not responsible. That's like peak not being an adult, yo. Just having sticky shit all over in your bag. Anyway, pre-gamed, and now I'm here busting it with this drink that I made, which is like a strawberry lemonade juice with white wine. Don't ask me what the maker is because I don't know. It's not something that I normally buy. I got it for free from an office party. Some Al Punto vodka, and I will say Al Punto because Billy from Al Punto at the Bronx Tavern and PMD Port Morris Distillery gave us a free bottle for drinking his shit on the show. So thank you, Billy. And Ziomara, his beautiful wife. And Doc Hurston's white absinthe. All three of them shits is in here. And I can tell you that this shit is working because I recorded this episode or started recording this episode and I hit pause and ended up hitting like N/delete. So clearly, this drink is doing what it's supposed to do, which is making me feel lovely. So lovely that I can't produce this podcast properly, which is kind of not safe, but whatever. But I can't remember what I was talking about, which was I did say that I wanted to jump on some of the topics that we've been talking about on the most recent episodes of the Adultish Podcast with myself, my beautiful co-host, Mr. Vincent Bernard. Hey, Vinny Boo Boo. And my special guest co-host, Mr. Roblematic. Hey. So I wanted to chat a little bit about comedy and kind of like give you guys, again, I know I said it before, but I wanted you guys to get like some understanding, some clarity on where I come with comedy and how I feel about it. Long story short, I feel like people are forgetting that when comedy is done and when it's done properly, when it's done well, there is intent. And the intent is not to have the comedian laughing at people, but to have the comedian laugh and have the people laugh with them. Right? Big difference. It's not like a comedian's coming out. The job is not for the comedian to come out and target someone's hurt and pain for their own laughter, for their own enjoyment. Right? It is to target a topic, something, an issue, whether it be something that's serious going on in the news or something as trite as, I don't know, a booger or whatever, and say, this is funny to me and I think this will be funny to you all. I want you all to laugh. I'm creating this joke. I'm crafting this joke for you all to laugh. Again, intention. And the intention is never to intentionally hurt. It's never to inflict pain on a person. And it is never to take a person's hurt and pain and continue to dig at that wound. Okay? We spoke about Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones comedy. And I do think that while, yes, the basis, the root of some of his jokes were based in misogyny, were based in homophobia, was based in sexism and racism and racial stereotypes, as well as it was based in pedophilia and sexual assault, the intent, again, was not to inflict pain on those who have gone through those things. It was to exaggerate, to satirize, to parody some of these real world and real life experiences, so much so that everyone else in that room can laugh with him. That's what I think the purpose of it was. And that is why I say that I don't personally believe that everyone should be so up in arms about every joke that a comedian makes, because if you then take away the fodder, right, the material of that joke, then what are we making fun of? What are we exaggerating? right? What you're then saying is that our reality is so far exaggerated that there's no way that we can exaggerate it further or make fun of it and laugh at it and make light of it. That we live in a world where things are just so fucked up, beyond fucked up, that we can't laugh at the shit anymore. And I don't want to live in a world where I can't laugh at some shit, because then that means that this sick, sad, dark reality that I live in on a daily basis, called a job, or not, but mostly my job, and other things, but also my job. I can't make fun of that. I have to live in that reality for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks in a year, and as many years as my body and my liver, which is consuming this beautiful concoction, will take me. Right? What you're saying is that you can't make fun of anything going on in your life anymore because it's beyond being made fun of. And that's saddening to me, that we can't make fun of anything because everything is so severe. Everything is so crucial. I still want to make fun of that. I need to laugh, right? This week alone, or in the last how many ever weeks, because I don't know when this episode of FAD is going to be published, to be quite honest with you, but this week alone, we had a father hold on to, I think, his 5-year-old daughter while he jumped in front of a train. A moving train. This man was committing suicide and taking his kid with him. Right? This week alone, we have to deal in yet another episode in the saga of Chief in Command Cheeto. Right? With him possibly doing a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Shit that we never had to fucking deal with other presidents. Right? We have to deal with this shit on a daily fucking basis. I want to laugh. I'm sorry. I really want to laugh. And again, while I do understand that some of the roots of the jokes were based in transphobia and homophobia and pedophilia and sexual assault and all that other good stuff. Well, not good stuff, but all those other bad things. Exaggerate it for me so I can laugh at it. Appeal to my wit. Tell them, and that's what I kept coming back to about comedy, is to appeal to the wit. Create a joke that would allow me to think back to the things that are actually happening in real life and then exaggerate it so that I can laugh at that exaggeration. Because I want to laugh at the exaggeration with the intent of this shit will never happen, so I'm going to laugh at that. I'm going to laugh at this scenario that will never be. Because it's so ridiculous. It's never going to happen, and that's funny to me. That's what that shit is really all about. At least from my point of view. And the point of view of my concoction. And to piggyback on the sexual assault thing, I also did an episode talking about, am I a feminist? Where I questioned my feminist agenda, my womanist agenda, which I'm now calling my ladyist agenda. Because like Shanae, I'm a lady. Yeah, I understand the feminist agenda, right? I don't remember all of it from that sociology, like 101 course that I took in college. But I do remember the whole Betty Friedan situation. And it's like, we want equality. We want equal pay. We want equal rights. We don't need to feel or want to be thought of as only the bearer of children and the wearer of that golden band, which is like a handcuff, those like the shackles on my finger, where I am bound to a man. and my agency is only that of connected to another being, either my children or my husband. I'm down for that shit.